Here is our talent of the week.
Hey there, Close Look. I'm Jade, and I'm here with Likky Lavji from the Dante Group. And you might recognize us before because we've already done this interview, but we are here to learn more about what he has to offer. So why don't you just tell us a bit about yourself?
Excellent. Thank you very much. And yeah, we were at the walk that we did back in June on Father's Day. We want to talk a little bit about what purpose, passion, and why is all about. What we've been doing is working with a lot of clients, a lot of youth as well, trying to figure out who they are, why they're in existence. You may have heard of Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek has a book called Start With Your Why. So we actually hold workshops on that. Now, once you figure out what your why is, your life changes instantly. So we've been working with kids and adults to do that. We just came back from Calgary. We did 3 workshops over there. And the day after, we met with some of those people. And it ended up being interesting. They actually said they were able to sit back and reflect as they were interacting with people, what that why looks like. So I'll share what my why is. My why is to break barriers to enrich lives. So no matter what I do, I'm actually talking, I do a reset. When I'm talking to somebody, I'm working on that conversation, I sit back and say, okay, how am I helping this person break a barrier? Whatever that barrier could be. So I take that into our family life. So if there's a conversation happening that's not going the way it's supposed to go, okay, how do we break that barrier? And then how do we make their life better? So we had a lady on the weekend in Calgary talk about that as well. And she was struggling the next day in her conversations. And her why was, I don't remember the exact word, but it was something about making others successful. So she was dealing with this process that wasn't working for her. And she sat back and said, okay, I need to figure out how to make this person successful, figured out the process, and all of a sudden the conversation went really well, and she was able to deliver what she wanted to do.
Oh, that's amazing. So why don't you tell us just a little bit about why you started, when you started, and how it all came to be?
You know, I've been a business entrepreneur for about 30 years now. I started when I was 4 years old. So as I was running businesses, I realized quickly that it wasn't selling a product, it wasn't doing anything else, it was actually helping people be successful in what they were doing. So I sold my IT company that I had a couple of years ago, and I started doing this full time. And it was a lot of fun. The biggest part of that is seeing people's interaction when they figure what that looks like. What their purpose looks like, what their passion looks like, it makes a big difference. Now, you know, I'm mid-age, a little bit older than most people here. And what I've realized is that if I would have figured out my why back when I was in the early 20s, life would have been different. But then I rephrased that. I said, I've gone through what I've gone through in life to figure out what my why is today. So the why could possibly change. When we start working with youth, the youth is more about volunteering, more about helping people out, which is great. If they can relate what that is, that's perfect. A few years ago, I was asked to speak with some youth from our community. And they said, can we help these youth bypass some of the struggles that we all went through? And I said, no, we can't help them bypass. What we can do is help them guide through it. You know, a lot of parents within all communities say, you have to go to school, you have to become a doctor, you have to become a dentist, whatever that looks like. But the kid doesn't have any passion to do that. So what ends up happening is they go to university, they go to school, they get that degree, and then they go out of that and say, I want a different career, which is okay. But if they knew what their purpose and passion was before they went in, they could take that into something else. So I use an example saying, hey, I want to get my master's, for example, master's in business. But my passion isn't business. Well, my passion is skateboarding. Perfect. Go do skateboarding, but with your master's in business, you can probably turn that around and become a brand manager for a skateboarding company. So turn what you're doing into something different and more positive. So we talk about conversations like that.
It's incredible. All right, so we figured out why, but what would be how?
You know, it's interesting. If I was to ask you right now, hey, what's your why? And you'll say something like, well, you may say what you do. Well, Simon Sinek basically says, a lot of people, when they introduce themselves, they say what you do. I sell cars. I am an accountant. That's the what. And then how I do it, or I might do it by doing different things. So once you have your why, the how becomes a lot easier. So I'll use mine for example. My why is I break barriers to enrich lives. How do I do that? I hold workshops, I have conversations, and at the end of the day, what we do is make people successful. So that's a simple execution there. When you start talking with youth, for example, they'll understand what their why is. Then they say, okay, now how do I go about doing the passion? We'll have conversations with them. We'll have one-on-one conversations. We'll have workshops for them as well to say, let's take this why that you fulfilled and turn that around. Very similar to the example I used about the skateboarding company. So if your passion is skateboarding and I want to figure something else out than that, it's not your why, it's your passion in life. Let's find out what your why is first. Now you've got your passion. Now what do you do? How do you make that happen? Okay, great. You need to go to school. What does that school look like for you? Let's take a look at some programs that are available. So we'll guide them through that process.
It's incredible. Thank you so much. One, go to take these workshops. Where do you guys hold them?
Well, the best thing to do is follow us on Facebook or LinkedIn. And the biggest reason for that is we travel. We travel to where the requirements and needs are. We go to Calgary, we go in Toronto, Montreal, Washington, D.C. We go into the States. We also do them locally in Vancouver. We're going to be doing a workshop in Vancouver on November the 7th. So that's another one that's open for adults. We haven't done the youth one yet. We're going to probably do that in early 2019.
Likky, do you have any message for any youth out there right now for their why or their how?
Well, whatever you're going through right now, it's just absolutely normal. It's perfect. Stick with the plan, but take a step back and figure out why you're doing it. What is your driving force that wakes you up every day to go do what you're doing? Is it because your parents asked you to do this? Is it peer pressure that's making you do this? Or is it something that you're really passionate about? Let's talk about that. And don't be afraid to talk to people. Mentors are available everywhere. I would love to sit and talk to people. If you need a mentor, give us a call. We'll help you out with that as well. The idea is don't be afraid of what you're doing is wrong. It's right. It's your path to destiny. But just create what that why looks like. Your life becomes so much easier.
Awesome. Do you provide one-on-one support, and is there a way that we can contact that?
Yes, for sure. As we are business strategists, for sure. CEOs, for example, and executives, they always want one-on-one support. They'll come to a workshop, but they'll definitely want one-on-one, and that's exactly what we do. We help those CEOs and executives succeed, but then we also take the time to help the youth as well. And we'll sit and chat with them and work with them as well. And my contact information is, again, Likky@dantegroup.ca. Look us up, Likky Lavji on LinkedIn and on Facebook.
Thank you, Close Look, for joining us tonight. If you would like to find more information about what Likky and I talked about, there's more information on the screen. Thank you and have a lovely night.